Now, are you live?
Live.
I'm live.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Movie Magic Nick. I'm here with Miss Swedish Fish for the Marketing Qualified Rundown on Friday.
Yes, it feels so good to be back. Come back home in San Diego.
I don't feel like some normalcy's back. We've got some same time. We're all in the same, country.
Yes, same country. I have been up since 2 a.m. though, so we're kind of not on the same time yet, but I'll work through that during the weekend.
All right. Well, there's a lot going on. But we want to jump right into it. So obviously one of the interesting things, every week there's always something fun to talk about in marketing, but this week, what can we learn from movie marketing?
I love this because when I read the newsletter, it's so creative and we just need, we're going to bring in some B2C examples here, but it's so creative and it's so possible for B2B to come in and just copy the whole concept here.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So what do we mean by movie magic marketing? So let's just show a good example here. All right. So obviously if you haven't heard, which you're probably living under a rock, if you didn't know that there's a new Twisters movie out. Mm-hmm. And this billboard, hilarious, right? Showing the features that really what it is, right? What's happening. So it's not just talking about the movie. It's actually demonstrating what's going on. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. And I mean, that's the whole key point here. Like, stop talking and start showing. It's just more powerful this way. They could have tried to explain this with words, but instead they choose to demonstrate it with obviously these imagery and creative. I don't even know what to call this thing here, but yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. So let's give you a good example of, and this is very timely because right now, this is not good news, but there is a major IT outage around the world from a CrowdStrike update that's impacted Microsoft. So it's caused global chaos right now. So this isn't funny, but from an advertising perspective, from a B2B perspective, one example for this would be literally showing people an ad that says people in an airport pissed off, panicking, or not, I shouldn't say that, frustrated, standing in line, but really demonstrating the impact of something. So if, from a network security, cybersecurity, so if you're advertising something you're trying to get across, it's demonstrating, not just talking about it or not just like having words about it. It's demonstrating what the impact is. So obviously there are a lot of people that are impacted, flights not moving. You could have, a flight that's, like stuck like a turtle. So that's an example.
And I think we can all relate to this because we may not have been part of this huge, it's pretty big what's happening right now. Yeah. I'm glad I'm back home before this all started. But we can all relate to it. So whoever your target audience is with this particular ad, which you probably should do a short video too, not just visual.
Yeah, for sure.
They can relate to it and understand exactly the feeling. They can put themselves in the shoes of that chaos at the airport because we're all like, it's so frustrating when that happens. So that's easy to illustrate. Yeah.
So just a B2B example. All right. So let's talk about the other part of movie magic marketing. So again, you have to be living under a rock if you didn't know that Deadpool and Wolverine are coming out. Well, I'm very excited as a longtime Marvel fan myself. So obviously Heinz.
I'm not a fan, but I'm not really a fan, but I'm going to go buy a Heinz now just because of this. Because I want to see it actually.
Super, super creative playing this up. You're putting the visual out there, connecting the dots on these billboards, the imagery, genius. Truly genius. So again, how do you do this from a B2B perspective? There's plenty of different options, but to stick with the networking, IT technology theme. You could have something if if you're selling a router, you could have a router on one side and a firewall on one side, and you could have a box of like soap on the other, right? To keep things clean. You could do some comparisons of product and then it's something that totally not related, but looks like it or has the same color. Do something like that, right? That's just as a B2B example.
Yeah. And I think typically in like when we think about co-marketing, especially B2B, we're trying to find that co-marketing partner that's typically within the same, even same industry or
True.
similar industry, just not a competitor, obviously. And what they're illustrating here, or demonstrating, is there's nothing related between ketchup and mustard and
Okay.
Deadpool.
And a Marvel movie. No.
No, except for the colors in this ad. There's nothing at all. So I think when you try to do this in B2B, just think outside of the box, like product that, because that's what makes it memorable. Like thinking about cleaning supply, and yeah, I think that's brilliant. It's a good idea.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I think it's a great point. Like, think outside the box. Don't just think about something that is within that realm. I mean, I think we maybe look at this and say, oh, well, this is all Heinz is getting all the publicity. Well, no, I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine are getting just as much publicity out of this as Heinz is. Now that's what collaboration and co-marketing is, right? They both benefit.
Can we think of another example? I mean, you're brilliant with examples. Like, I love when you get started on this.
I don't know. I mean, I think B2B, especially in the IT space or just technology space, like, I'm just trying to think of a good one that's, I mean, any kind of software. I mean, I think if you have, software that, even think of like a financial services software, right? Like if you're selling that product, what goes along with that, right? I mean, it could be, you could have something with a printer, right? Avoid like a joke about the printer and software that doesn't have a printer. I don't know. Just trying to think of random things you could put together. But I think the key is think about Hollywood magic, think about outside the box, and just be inspired, right? Get some inspiration. And if it doesn't work, hey, I mean, try to think small. Don't worry about it. Obviously, this is a huge ad campaign, but go small.
And we barely really promote Real Access here, but I have to say something. If you are thinking and want to go like this kind of route with co-marketing, we love doing this kind of brainstorming and just sit down and find these outside of the box ideas to do something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe not maybe we can't come up with like 10 ideas during a live session.
It is early still.
It is early still, but we certainly can when we meet and sit down. We have a brilliant team for that. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Awesome. Well, I feel like, we have so much to do. There's so many more other topics, but I feel like we're running out of time and we still haven't even gotten to our meme of the week.
I mean, should we do the meme only and then come back later and cover the second story? Because this newsletter, typically it's one smaller, one bigger story, but the second stuff here is so good. I really want to dive deeper into it, and we try to keep these under 10 minutes.
Try to keep it short. So yeah, man, let's do that. Let's pause for the cause, have a little meme, and then come back later.
This is so blurry, but it's still, you can still see what it is.
Yeah, this is
also
cracking me up. Like, yeah, it's in the marketing world, we all know, like, we are driven. We use tools like Asana and ClickUp and all these things. Like, we're constantly focused on trying to get shit done, and it's like, then you don't realize right behind you all the other stuff.
So much shit. Oh man, I'm happy if I can complete that one single task that I'm focused on in a day, and that to make it successful. So if I have 200 more, they'll have to wait until tomorrow. Well, Nick, I think it's a great idea. Let's talk about our second story a little bit later today. So if you are watching, stay tuned. We'll go live again in a few hours so we can dive a little bit deeper into that.
We're gonna open up the brain into some cognitive issues.
Oh yeah, we should say what it's about.
Yeah. So we're gonna dig into some cognitive issues, because it does take a little bit more time and it takes more brain power, and we need another cup of coffee. That's our excuse today, guys. So
okay, so in the meantime, if you want to head over and check out these stories, marketingqualified.co, you can read all about them there. If not, just tune in a little bit later and we'll tell you all about it.
All right. See you later.